What if I told you the very thing that is breaking you today is actually building you for tomorrow? What if your pain is not punishment, but preparation? And what if every obstacle in your life is not there to stop you, but to shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and unstoppable? Today, I stand before you with a truth that can change the way you see your entire life. Every challenge you face is not a curse. It is a hidden opportunity sent by God. Yes, life gets hard. There are moments when nothing makes sense. Doors close. People leave. Plans fail. And you sit there asking, why is this happening to me? But what if the question is wrong? What if instead of asking why, you start asking, what is this here to teach me? Because God does not place you in difficult situations to destroy you. He places you there to elevate you. Every hardship carries a lesson. Every delay carries wisdom. And every struggle carries strength if you choose to see it. You don't truly meet yourself on the easy days. You meet yourself in the moments that shake you, test you, and push you to your limits. Think about it. When everything is going well, when life is smooth and predictable, you move through your days almost on autopilot. You don't question your strength, you don't explore your limits, and you don't discover what you're truly capable of. But the moment a challenge enters your life, suddenly everything changes. Suddenly you are forced to respond, to rise, to adapt. And that is where your real strength begins to reveal itself. Not the strength you talk about, but the strength you live. Imagine a student who always scores well without trying too hard. Life feels easy for them, and they believe they are capable, but they don't truly know their limits. Then one day, they face a subject that challenges them deeply. They fail a test. For the first time, they feel pressure, doubt, maybe even fear. Now they have two choices: give up and believe they are not good enough, or push harder than ever before. If they choose to rise, to study longer hours, to stay disciplined even when it's difficult, something powerful happens. They don't just learn the subject, they discover a level of determination they never knew existed within them. That strength was always there, but it needed a challenge to bring it out. This is how life works for all of us. Strength is not built in comfort, it is revealed through struggle. Think about a person who loses a job unexpectedly. In that moment, it feels like everything is falling apart. There is stress, uncertainty, and fear of the unknown. But within that challenge lies a hidden force. That person might start exploring new skills, connecting with new people, or even starting something of their own. Months later, they may look back and realize that losing that job pushed them towards something far greater. What felt like an ending was actually the beginning of discovering their resilience, their creativity, and their courage. Every challenge is like a mirror. It shows you who you really are. It shows you whether you will stand firm or fall apart, whether you will complain or take action, whether you will see yourself as weak or rise as someone powerful. And the truth is, most people underestimate themselves because they have never been tested deeply enough. They live inside their comfort zone, believing that this is all they are capable of. But the moment life pushes them out of that comfort, something awakens inside them. A strength, a fire, a determination that says, I will not give up. Look at your daily life. Even small challenges carry this power. Waking up early when you feel lazy, continuing your work when you feel tired, staying patient when someone tests your temper, these are all moments where your strength is being revealed. It's not always about big dramatic struggles. Sometimes it's the quiet battles you fight every day that shape who you become. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, courage over fear, and action over excuses, you are proving to yourself that you are stronger than you think. And here's something important to understand. Challenges don't come into your life randomly. They come with purpose. They come to stretch you, to grow you, to prepare you. If life never tested you, you would never evolve. You would stay the same person with the same mindset, the same habits, and the same limitations. But challenges break those limits. They force you to think differently, act differently, and become someone better. There will be moments when you feel like you can't handle it anymore. Moments when the pressure feels too heavy. But those are the exact moments where your strength is being built the most. It's like a muscle. When you push it beyond its comfort, it grows stronger. In the same way, when life pushes you, it is not trying to break you, it is trying to build you. So the next time you face a challenge, don't immediately see it as something negative. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what is this trying to show me about myself? Because hidden inside that difficulty is a version of you that is stronger, braver, and more capable than you have ever imagined. And the only way to meet that version of yourself is to go through the challenge, not around it. You are stronger than your fears, stronger than your doubts, and stronger than any obstacle in front of you. But you won't fully believe that until life gives you a reason to prove it. And when that moment comes, don't step back, step forward. Because that challenge is not there to stop you, it is there to introduce you to your true strength. Pain is something no one asks for, yet everyone experiences. It arrives uninvited, often at the worst possible time, and it has a way of making everything feel heavy. But what if pain is not just something to suffer through? What if pain is actually trying to guide you, shape you, and transform you into someone stronger? The truth is, pain always carries a purpose if you are willing to look beyond the discomfort and search for the lesson hidden inside it. Think about a time when something didn't go your way. Maybe you trusted someone and they let you down. Maybe you worked hard for an opportunity and didn't get it. In that moment, it feels like everything is against you. Your mind fills with questions, your heart feels heavy, and you start wondering why this had to happen. But if you pause and reflect, you'll begin to notice something powerful. Pain forces you to think deeper. It pushes you to understand people better, to understand yourself better, and to make wiser decisions moving forward. Take a simple daily life example. Imagine someone who gets criticized at work. At first, it hurts. It feels unfair. The natural reaction is to feel defensive or discouraged. But if that person chooses to step back and listen carefully, they might realize there is something valuable hidden in that criticism. Maybe it reveals a skill they need to improve or a habit they need to change. That moment of pain becomes a turning point. Instead of staying stuck, they grow. They improve. And over time, that same criticism that once hurt them becomes the reason they succeed. Pain has a way of waking you up. When life is comfortable, you don't always pay attention. You move through your days without questioning much. But pain interrupts that comfort. It forces you to stop, reflect, and reevaluate your path. It asks you important questions. Are you going in the right direction? Are you surrounding yourself with the right people? Are you living in a way that aligns with your purpose? Without pain, many of these questions would never even cross your mind. Look at someone who goes through failure. Maybe they start a small business, full of hope and excitement, but things don't work out. They lose money, confidence drops, and it feels like a huge setback. But what happens next defines everything. If they choose to learn from that failure, they gain something far more valuable than success experience. They understand what went wrong, they learn how to plan better, and they build resilience. The next time they try, they are not the same person. They are stronger, wiser, and more prepared. That pain was not wasted, it was an investment in their growth. Even emotional pain carries purpose. When someone goes through heartbreak, it feels like the world has stopped. But slowly, that pain begins to teach. It teaches you what you truly deserve. It teaches you the importance of self-respect, boundaries, and emotional strength. It shapes your character. And one day, when you look back, you realize that the pain didn't just hurt you, it transformed you into someone who understands love, patience, and strength on a deeper level. Pain also builds empathy. When you go through something difficult, you become more understanding of others. You begin to see that everyone is fighting their own battles. That kindness you show, that patience you develop, often comes from the pain you once experienced. In this way, pain doesn't just change you, it allows you to positively impact the lives of others. In daily life, even the smallest struggles carry meaning. The frustration of trying again after failure, the discipline of continuing when you feel tired, the courage to stand up after being knocked down, these are all moments where pain is quietly shaping you. It is teaching you persistence. It is building your character. It is preparing you for something greater. But here's the key: pain only has purpose if you choose to learn from it. If you let it turn into bitterness, it will hold you back. But if you let it turn into wisdom, it will move you forward. The same pain can either break you or build you. The choice is always yours. So the next time you feel pain, don't just ask, why is this happening to me? Instead ask, what is this trying to teach me? That one question can change everything. Because hidden within your struggles are lessons that can guide you, strengthen you, and lead you to a better version of yourself. Pain is not the end of your story. It is a chapter, a powerful one that shapes the person you are becoming. And when you begin to see it this way, you stop fearing pain. Instead, you start understanding it. You start using it. And most importantly, you start growing because of it. There are moments in life when you feel stuck, when things are not moving the way you planned, when opportunities seem delayed and nothing seems to be happening in your favor. In those moments, frustration quietly builds inside you. You start comparing your journey with others, you start questioning your efforts, and sometimes you even begin to doubt whether what you are waiting for will ever come. But what if that delay is not a sign of failure? What if that delay is actually a form of protection, a form of preparation, and a sign that something is being aligned in a way you cannot yet see? Delays test your patience, and patience is not just about waiting, it is about how you behave while you wait. Anyone can feel motivated when things are happening quickly, but real growth happens in the waiting period. Think about a student who prepares for an important exam. They study day and night, they put in the effort, but the results are not immediate. There is a gap between the effort and the outcome. In that gap, many people lose hope, but the ones who understand the value of timing keep going. They trust that their effort will pay off, even if it takes time. And when the results finally come, they are not just successful, they are confident, disciplined, and mentally stronger because of the journey they went through. In daily life, delays often redirect you in ways you don't expect. Imagine someone who applies for a job they really want. They prepare, they give their best, but they don't get selected. It feels disappointing. It feels like a missed opportunity. But instead of giving up, they continue improving their skills, applying to other places, and staying consistent. A few months later, they get an even better opportunity, one that offers more growth, better exposure, and a healthier environment. When they look back, they realize that if they had gotten the first job, they might have settled for less. That delay was not a denial, it was a redirection towards something better. Delays also build your character. When things happen instantly, you don't always appreciate them. But when you have to wait, when you have to struggle, when you have to stay consistent even without immediate results, you develop a deeper sense of gratitude and resilience. You learn to trust the process. You learn to stay grounded. And most importantly, you learn that not everything in life is under your control, and that's okay. There is also wisdom in understanding that you might not be ready yet for what you are asking for. Sometimes you want something so badly, but you don't realize that if you received it too early, you wouldn't be able to handle it. Think about someone who suddenly gets a big responsibility without the right experience or mindset. Instead of growing, they might feel overwhelmed and fail under pressure. But when that same opportunity comes after a period of preparation, learning, and personal growth, they are able to handle it with confidence and maturity. The delay gave them time to become the person capable of handling that opportunity. Look at nature for a moment. A seed does not become a tree overnight. It takes time to grow beneath the soil before it even becomes visible. During that time, it is developing roots, strong, deep roots that will support it as it grows taller. If it tried to grow too quickly without those roots, it would collapse at the first sign of difficulty. In the same way, your delays are building your foundation. They are strengthening you from within so that when your time comes, you are ready to stand strong. In everyday situations, delays teach you discipline. Waiting in a long line, working toward a goal that takes months or years, saving money slowly instead of spending it instantly, these small experiences train your mind to stay patient and focused. They remind you that meaningful things take time, and rushing the process often leads to mistakes. The most important thing is how you choose to respond during the delay. You can either sit in frustration, complain, and lose hope, or you can use that time to improve yourself, to learn new skills, to reflect, and to grow. The delay itself is not the problem, your reaction to it is what defines your journey. When you start seeing delays as part of a bigger plan, your mindset begins to shift. You stop feeling stuck and you start feeling prepared. You stop asking, why is this not happening now? And you start saying, maybe something better is being prepared for me. That belief gives you strength. It gives you peace. And it allows you to keep moving forward without losing hope. So when life slows down your progress, don't immediately assume something is wrong. Sometimes things are being arranged in ways you cannot yet understand. Sometimes you are being shaped into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. And sometimes what you are waiting for is also waiting for the right version of you to arrive. Trust the timing. Stay consistent. Keep growing, because what is meant for you will come at the right moment, and when it does, you will realize that every delay had a purpose. And every moment of waiting was preparing you for something truly meaningful. Life rarely changes in comfort. Real change, real growth, and real transformation always begin when you are pushed beyond what feels easy. When everything is smooth, you tend to stay the same. You repeat the same habits, think the same thoughts, and move through life without questioning much. But the moment discomfort enters your life, everything shifts. Suddenly, you are forced to think differently, act differently, and become someone stronger than you were before. Growth does not come from ease, it comes from pressure, challenge, and situations that make you uncomfortable enough to evolve. Think about a simple daily life example. A person who has always lived within their comfort zone may avoid risks. They stick to familiar routines, avoid new challenges, and prefer stability over uncertainty. But life has a way of interrupting comfort. Maybe they lose something important, or maybe they are forced into a situation where they cannot rely on old habits anymore. At first, it feels overwhelming. They feel lost, unsure, even afraid. But as time passes, something interesting happens. They start adapting. They start learning new skills, thinking more creatively, and becoming more independent. What once felt impossible slowly becomes manageable. And when they look back, they realize that the uncomfortable phase didn't break them, it built them. Though comfort is like a hidden teacher. It does not come with comfort or ease, but it comes with lessons that shape your future. Think of someone learning to ride a bicycle. At first, it feels unstable. They fall, they struggle, and they may even want to give up. But the discomfort of falling is exactly what teaches them balance. If they avoided that discomfort, they would never learn how to ride. In the same way, life pushes you into uncomfortable situations so you can learn lessons you would never discover otherwise. Even in education or career, growth always begins with discomfort. A student learning a difficult subject often feels confused and frustrated in the beginning. Nothing makes sense, progress feels slow, and motivation starts to fade. But if they push through that discomfort, something powerful happens. They begin to understand. Slowly, clarity replaces confusion. Confidence replaces doubt. And what once felt impossible becomes familiar. That transformation only happens because they stayed in the discomfort long enough to grow. Discomfort also reveals your hidden potential. Many people believe they know their limits, but in reality, they only know the limits of their comfort zone. The real limits are often much further than they think. When life pushes you into uncomfortable situations, it stretches those limits. You begin to discover strengths you didn't know existed within you. You realize you are more patient than you thought, more resilient than you believed, and more capable than you ever imagined. Look at someone who starts a new job or business. The beginning is always uncomfortable. There is uncertainty, pressure, and fear of failure. Every day feels like a challenge. But as they continue, they adapt. They learn how to handle pressure, how to solve problems, and how to make better decisions. Over time, what once felt uncomfortable becomes their strength. That transformation only happens because they stayed through the discomfort instead of running away from it. Discomfort also teaches emotional strength. Life is not always predictable. Sometimes things don't go your way. Sometimes people disappoint you. Sometimes plans fail. In those moments, emotional discomfort arises. It is easy to feel discouraged or overwhelmed. But if you stay steady during those moments, you develop emotional resilience. You learn how to handle stress, how to stay calm under pressure, and how to keep moving forward even when things are uncertain. Another important truth is that discomfort is temporary, but growth is permanent. The uncomfortable phase may feel long and exhausting while you are in it, but once you pass through it, you carry the strength for life. The struggle becomes a memory, but the growth becomes a part of who you are. That is the hidden gift of discomfort. It changes you permanently in ways comfort never can. Even in relationships, discomfort plays a role in growth. Honest conversations, difficult truths, and emotional challenges may feel uncomfortable, but they build stronger understanding and deeper connection. Avoiding discomfort might feel easier in the moment, but it often prevents real growth from happening. The key is not to avoid discomfort, but to accept it as part of your journey. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" start asking, "What is this trying to build in me?" That simple shift in thinking changes everything. Because discomfort is not your enemy, it is your trainer. It is shaping your discipline, your patience, your courage, and your strength. So when life becomes uncomfortable, don't rush to escape it. Stay in it. Learn from it. Grow through it. Because every moment of discomfort is quietly preparing you for a stronger version of yourself. And one day, when you look back, you will realize that the very situations you once feared were the ones that built your greatest strength. Mindset is the invisible force that shapes every outcome in your life. Two people can go through the exact same situation, face the same problem, or experience the same setback, but their results can be completely different. Why? Because it is not the situation that defines you, it is the way you think about the situation. Your mindset is the lens through which you see your world, and that lens decides whether you see obstacles or opportunities, failure or learning, defeat or growth. Think about a simple daily life example. Two students fail the same exam. One student immediately feels defeated. They start thinking, "I am not good enough, I will never succeed," and slowly they lose confidence. They stop trying, and that one failure becomes a permanent mindset of limitation. But the second student reacts differently. Yes, they feel disappointed, but they don't stop there. They ask themselves, "Where did I go wrong? What can I improve? How can I do better next time?" That small shift in thinking changes everything. The second student studies differently, improves their weak areas, and eventually succeeds. Same failure, different mindset, completely different outcome. Your mindset determines how you interpret challenges. If your mindset is weak, every challenge looks like a wall blocking your path. But if your mindset is strong, every challenge looks like a stepping stone helping you rise higher. Life does not change first. You think your life changes first, and then your life follows. Look at everyday situations. A person stuck in traffic can either become frustrated, angry, and stressed, or they can use that time to reflect, listen to something positive, or simply stay calm. The situation is the same, but the mindset changes the experience completely. One person feels drained, the other feels peaceful. That is the power of thinking. Even in professional life, mindset plays a huge role. Imagine someone who loses a job. One mindset says, "This is the end of my career." The other mindset says, "This is a new beginning." The first mindset creates fear and stagnation. The second mindset creates action and growth. The person with the growth mindset starts learning new skills, exploring new opportunities, and eventually finds something even better than before. What looked like a setback becomes a setup for something greater. Your mindset also affects how you see yourself. If you constantly believe you are limited, you will act in limited ways. You will avoid risks, avoid challenges, and stay in your comfort zone. But if you believe you can grow, improve, and evolve, you will naturally start pushing yourself. You will take risks, try new things, and develop skills you never thought you had. Your beliefs shape your behavior, and your behavior shapes your future. Think about someone learning a new skill, like speaking in public. At first, their mindset may say, "I am not confident, people will judge me, or I will make mistakes." With that mindset, fear grows. But if they shift their thinking to, "Every expert was once a beginner, and mistakes are part of learning," everything changes. They start practicing, they improve, and over time, confidence builds. The skill didn't change first, the mindset did. Mindset also controls how you handle failure. Failure is not the end, it is feedback. But only a strong mindset can see it that way. A weak mindset takes failure personally, while a strong mindset takes it as information. One says, "I failed because I am not capable," while the other says, "I failed because I need to improve my approach." That difference in thinking decides whether you stay stuck or move forward. In relationships too, mindset matters. If someone has a negative mindset, they may always assume the worst, overthink situations, and create unnecessary stress. But a positive and understanding mindset allows space for communication, patience, and emotional balance. The same situation can either create conflict or strengthen connection depending on how it is interpreted. Even your daily habits are influenced by mindset. A disciplined mindset makes it easier to wake up early, stay consistent, and work toward goals. A distracted mindset makes it easy to procrastinate and lose focus. It is not always about ability, it is about perspective. The truth is, mindset is something you build every day. It is shaped by what you think, what you believe, and how you respond to life. And the powerful part is that you can change it at any moment. You are not stuck with one way of thinking forever. You can choose to see challenges as opportunities, failures as lessons, and delays as preparation. When you start shifting your mindset, everything around you starts to shift too. You begin to see possibilities where you once saw problems. You begin to feel strength where you once felt doubt. You begin to move forward instead of staying stuck. So remember this, your life will not always change first, but your mindset can. And when your mindset changes, your entire world begins to transform with it. Hidden within every struggle you face in life is something far greater than what appears on the surface. Most people only see the difficulty, the stress, the confusion, the frustration, but very few pause long enough to realize that every problem carries a hidden gift inside it. Life does not just give you challenges to test your patience, it gives you challenges to reveal lessons, strengths, and opportunities that would never appear in comfort. Think about a simple daily life situation. A person is struggling financially. At first, it feels like a burden, something painful and overwhelming. They may feel stressed about bills, uncertain about the future, and pressured by responsibilities. But this struggle slowly forces them to think differently. They start budgeting better, exploring new ways to earn, and becoming more responsible with money. Over time, they develop financial discipline and creativity they never had before. What looked like a problem at first actually becomes the reason they grow stronger, smarter, and more independent. This is how life works. Every difficulty is like a locked door, and inside that door is a lesson waiting to be discovered. But the key is your perspective. If you only focus on the pain, you miss the lesson. But if you look deeper, you begin to see that every situation is teaching you something valuable. Even in education, this truth is clear. A student struggling with a subject like mathematics or science may feel discouraged at first. They may think they are not intelligent enough or that they will never understand it. But as they keep trying, asking questions, and practicing, something changes. Slowly, confusion turns into understanding. That struggle builds patience, problem-solving skills, and confidence. The difficulty they once feared becomes the reason they grow intellectually. Without that struggle, they would never have reached that level of understanding. In relationships too, hidden gifts exist within challenges. Misunderstandings, disagreements, and emotional struggles may feel uncomfortable, but they often lead to deeper communication and stronger emotional bonds. When two people go through challenges and choose to understand each other instead of walking away, their connection becomes stronger than before. The struggle teaches patience, empathy, and emotional maturity, qualities that cannot be developed in easy situations. Even failure itself carries hidden gifts. Imagine someone who starts a business and it doesn't succeed. At first, it feels like everything has fallen apart. But within that failure lies experience, real, practical, and powerful experience. They learn what works and what doesn't. They understand mistakes they would never have noticed otherwise. That knowledge becomes the foundation for future success. Many successful people today build their strength from failures that once felt like endings but were actually beginnings in disguise. Life also uses challenges to redirect you. Sometimes, you are heading in a direction that is not right for you, even if you don't realize it. A setback may feel like a stop, but in reality, it might be a redirection. For example, someone may not get selected for a job they really wanted. It feels disappointing at the moment. But later, they may find a better opportunity, one that offers more growth, better environment, or greater success. That initial rejection was not a loss, it was protection and guidance towards something better. Even emotional pain carries hidden meaning. A heartbreak, a betrayal, or a loss can feel overwhelming. But these experiences often teach self-awareness, emotional strength, and clarity about what truly matters. They help you understand your own value, your boundaries, and your emotional needs. Without going through emotional pain, many people would never learn how to protect their peace or recognize what they deserve in life. In daily life, even small struggles carry hidden lessons. The frustration of waiting in difficult situations teaches patience. The effort of learning something new teaches persistence. The discomfort of stepping out of your comfort zone teaches courage. These moments may seem small, but together they shape your character over time. The biggest mistake people make is assuming that problems are just obstacles. In reality, problems are teachers in disguise. They are not placed in your life to stop you, but to prepare you. Every challenge carries information about your strengths, weaknesses, and potential. But you only discover it when you stop resisting and start reflecting. When you begin to shift your thinking, something powerful happens. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" you start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" That one question changes your entire experience of life. Because now, you are no longer just suffering through the problem, you are learning from it. So whenever you face difficulty, don't rush to escape it. Pause for a moment. Look deeper. There is always something hidden inside it, a lesson, a strength, a direction, or a transformation waiting to be discovered. The problem is never just a problem. It is a message, a guide, and a hidden gift designed to move you closer to who you are meant to become.